Shishir Spine is an initiative to impart knowledge about spine and about back problems. On the occasion of World Spine Day, we are holding a special webinar to commemorate this day. On this day, this webinar will focus on common back problems and what are the treatment of these common back problems.
Good morning to everybody, and thanks for joining us for this knowledge event on this beautiful Sunday morning. Uh, Welcome to this Back on Track webinar, World Spine Days campaign theme for 2020. As we all know, the coronavirus pandemic has affected people around the world, with lockdown restrictions are impacting people's ability to stay active and mobile. So Back on Track celebrates people being able to reactivate and revitalize their bodies by getting out and focusing on effective spine care to improve quality of life. And we highlight the importance of exercise, posture, movement, and good self-care to ensure a healthy spine. So looking after your spine can range from taking regular breaks at work when people are working from home to exercises for the elderly to doing more serious routines. So everyone of all ages can get back on track. Now, Dr. Shishir has treated spinal disease for close to 2.5 decades now, and there are various myths, suspicions, worries, and uncertainties which are faced by the patients regarding spine care. So, keeping all this in mind, we have started the initiative of Shishir Spine. Shishir Spine has the aim of disseminating awareness about spine diseases in the general society in India. Now, this webinar and general awareness booklet, which we released on our website, which is free for everybody to download on the occasion of World Spine Day on 16, this is another step in this direction. And many further public education activities, they are covering various facets of spine disease. These have been planned for the near future. So we'll be adding more information and material for you to plan and promote the Back on Track activities. You can go to our website and blog, and also go to our social media platforms, mainly on Facebook and YouTube, and also on Twitter for latest education material, which we will be uploading. Later on, after the webinar, you can also send us your comments or questions at our email ID, which is shishirspine@gmail.com. I repeat, shishirspine@gmail.com. Now, a few words about our key speaker for the day. We are thankful to Dr. Shishir for taking time out from his busy routine to spend some time, educating the public, which is close to his heart. Dr. Retired Colonel Shishir Kumar, he's got many degrees, but most importantly, he's a graduate and postgraduate from Armed Forces Medical College, Pune, which is one of the leading institutions in India, as we all know. He's had more than 25 years of commissioned service in the Indian Army, more than 2 decades as a surgeon and spine surgeon. And in fact, he is the one who was instrumental in introducing minimally invasive spine surgery in the armed forces. He was, at one point, he was the only surgeon carrying out scoliosis and advanced deformity correction surgeries in the army. So he has almost 2 decades of experience in spine surgery, and he also was heading the Spinal Cord Injury Center, which is the largest in Asia, at Military Hospital near Pune. Now, most of his early spine training has been under the renowned Professor Goregaonkar at Sion Hospital, Mumbai. And he's also internationally trained in premier institutions of Korea, Singapore, and Germany in techniques like minimally invasive surgery, redo surgery, walk day after surgery, and complex spine deformity correction. So his aim has been always to bring safe spine surgery at the doorstep of the common man. Dr. Shishir Kumar is currently heading the Department of Spine Surgery at Metro Hospital Group in Delhi and Noida. So without wasting much more time, I'll just request Dr. Shishir to please take over this webinar and enlighten us with his knowledge. Over to you, Dr. Shishir.
Thank you, Dr. Verma, and I welcome everybody for this webinar. And I should ask is that why are we talking about spine surgery? I mean, why are we talking about spine? Now, all of you know the spine is basically the backbone, and it is the most important part of the body as it supports the whole body. And but then so what? What's the big deal? इतनी क्या बड़ी बात है इसके अंदर? तो इसमें बड़ी बात ये है कि it is a single leading cause of disability worldwide. And then it is the most common reason for missed work. I was in the army and 30 years I was treating patients, and the largest number of patients in single OPD, almost 50% of my patients were backache patients. Similarly, in any practice or even in my hospital practice now, 50% of patients are backache patients. And 80% of all of us would have, almost 80% of people in the world would have experienced some kind of back pain in their lifetime. And surprisingly, and more importantly, that most of these back pains are mechanical and can be cured by very simple, easy methods, which we would be talking about, or can be prevented by very simple, easy methods. And so, because of these small, easy things which can be done, so much of morbidity and so much of lost work hours and so much of money spent on spine treatment can be avoided. Almost $50 billion are spent in the US just for that. Apart from this, another problem with spine is that when it occurs in the elderly, it may cause severe disability. Almost 266 million, that means around 226 crores people are suffering from this kind of disease. And it is said that because of lack of education and proper treatment, in India, almost 14 lakh people are becoming disabled. So, and that is a very huge number, huge number. And so, and that is basically because of lack of awareness of these patients. इनको समझ में नहीं आता कि ये बीमारी रीढ़ की हड्डी की है, कौन से डॉक्टर के पास जाएं, किधर जाएं, और कौन कौन से ऐसे वार्निंग या रेड सिग्नल्स हैं जिससे ये अपने आप को डॉक्टर को दिखाने जाएं, क्योंकि ये बीमारी बढ़ती जाती है, इवेंचुअली ऐसी सिचुएशन में पहुंच जाती है कि ये डिसेबल हो जाते हैं और उसके बाद उनको करेक्ट करना, उनको ठीक करना मुश्किल हो जाता है. So पहली बात तो है कि first thing we must realize is why does backache occur in human? You know, humans are a unique species. They are only people who get backache. If you look at this, slide, you will see that this is a thing of spine of an orangutan, and you see that there is this curve of the spine, which is basically a convex curve. Now, to straighten him, this curve has to be changed to a concave curve, as you can see here. So, a concave curve in the human has developed only in the human beings, and it is not present in any other animals who are or even chimpanzees or orangutans, others where this curve is convex. And this concave curve straightens the body and brings the head over the pelvis and straightens the body. Now, the problem is that this concave curve is basically a mechanically non-compliant curve, in the sense that if you have to put things on top of each other to be mechanically compliant for the center of gravity to pass through it. Here, the center of gravity is not passing through it. Center of gravity is passing somewhere ahead of this, and so of the body is passing ahead of this curve. And so something has to keep this curve in place rather than this mechanical property. And so they have developed very strong muscles to keep this curve in a concave manner. So this curve is akin to a dhanush, and the dhanush में जो रस्सी पीछे होती है, the bowstring, are the muscles of our back, and these are very strong muscles of the back, which are like bowstrings, and these muscles are the ones which keep this back in this position. When the back is in this position, the head is above the pelvis, and human beings can walk. Unfortunately, these muscles have to be active all along all their life. पूरी जिंदगी इन मसल को एक्टिव रहना पड़ता है और टोन रहना पड़ता है. Something like the heart muscles, which have to keep on working all the while, and to keep the body straight. So if these muscles are weakened or are not exercised properly, then their body and the head tends to topple forward, and our posture tends to become bad. And when the posture tends to become bad, all the other problems that I will be talking about in the spine will come forward. So the fundamental reason for these muscles, for integrity of the spine, are these muscles which are new muscles which have developed in the body as human beings have started standing up. Now, and backache is a recent phenomena. The earlier man was basically a hunter-gatherer, and he would do all the work, all the exercises, and do all the physical work on his own, and that is why he never got backache. But now, if you see, the present generation is almost like this, and because of this, they hardly do any exercises, any work, and as a result of that, these muscles of theirs are not exercised, and their posture keeps on going forward, and that is why they become like that. So then, how do we prevent this kind of a problem? Prevention is very simple. The muscles of the back are basically core muscles. That means any work that you do or any exercise that you do, the muscles of the back are going to be exercised. So any kind of work, any kind of exercise, that is jogging, cycling, swimming, sports, or yoga, are the best things to keep your back intact. If from a very young age you start doing these exercises, or you start playing, and continue to them even till adult age or to middle age or to older life, some kind of sports which is commensurate with your life, with your age, with your lifestyle, then it is unlikely that you are bound to get back problems. So some kind of exercise and sports are an absolute must to keep the integrity of your back, as I've already explained, because of the kind of muscles that are there in the back. Also now more and more people are working from home and working and working in offices and working on computer terminals, and that is why proper ergonomics and proper workspace ergonomics, like sitting properly, lifting weights and sitting comfortably in front of a monitor, and those kind of things are very important. We have planned a further educative program and a webinar on office ergonomics and exercise only, which will probably be the next part of our, which will be probably the next month. And there we will be touching about all things in great detail, what people should be doing in their workplace, what kind of exercise should be doing. Today's thing is just an overview, and so that's why I'm walking you through all this. So in office, what should you do? How should you sit in your office? First of all, your chair should have a back support, which is curved like your back, the lordosis of your back, as I explained. The monitor should be at your eye level. There should be support for your elbows. The hips and the knees should be at 90 degrees, so there should be support for the foot. And you should frequently get up and walk around and do some exercise and swing your arms and do some basic spinal extension exercises, just to prevent any kind of issues on the spine while you're working. So now that the first thing I described was backache, which was in young people. In this chart, you can see that you get backache in young people, which is from about 20 to 40 years of age group. But backache in older people is much more. Almost about 39 to 40% of people and backache suffer. People from on that age group suffer from, in 50 to 60 year age group suffer. About 30 to 40% of people, 30 से 40% लोगों को इस एज ग्रुप के अंदर 40 से 60 के बीच में बैकएक होगा. अब इस बैकएक का रीजन उस बैकएक से जो मैंने आपको समझाया मैकेनिकल, उससे अलग होता है. अगर आप देखेंगे कि तो हमारी जो रीढ़ की हड्डी है, ये एक के ऊपर एक स्टैक्ड है और इसके बीच में एक डिस्क होती है. ये डिस्क जो एक पल्टेशियस मटेरियल या एक टूथपेस्ट की तरह होती है, ये एक शॉक एब्जॉर्बर होती है. उम्र के साथ साथ इस डिस्क का पानी खत्म हो जाता है और ये डिस्क कम पतली होना शुरू हो जाती है. पतली होने की वजह से हमारी रीढ़ की हड्डी का गुलाव, जो मैंने बताया था, जो लॉर्डोसिस, वो गुलाव कम होना शुरू हो जाता है. उसकी वजह से जो ये बाकी सारी चीजें, ये नसों के ऊपर और स्पाइनल कॉर्ड नसें, इनके ऊपर ही दबाव पड़ना शुरू हो जाता है. जब इन नसों के ऊपर दबाव पड़ना शुरू हो जाता है तो हमारे पैरों में दर्द या हमारे हाथों में दर्द और हमारी रीढ़ की हड्डी में ज्यादा दर्द शुरू होना शुरू हो जाता है. और दूसरा, हमारी रीढ़ की हड्डी आगे की तरफ इस तरह, जैसे ये है, इस तरह झुकना शुरू हो जाती है. तो जवानी में जो कमर का दर्द होता है वो पोस्चर पोजीशन और मसल बैलेंस की वजह से होता है. और बुढ़ापे का जो दर्द होता है रीढ़ की हड्डी, वो जो रीढ़ की हड्डी में जो स्ट्रक्चरल चेंजेस होते हैं उनकी वजह से होता है. तो हम पहले थोड़ा यंग के बारे में बात करेंगे. जैसे मैंने बताया, इन द यंग पीपल द बैकएक इज बेसिकली मैकेनिकल और पोस्चरल, and it is also sometimes due to very heavy work and exertion. Your muscles are not used to the work, and but another very common reason for backache in the young is prolapsed intervertebral disc, जिसको कहते हैं slip disc, और उसका सिम्टम होता है sciatica. Sciatica के बारे में अभी आपको थोड़ा और बताऊंगा कि आज की टॉक हमारी मेनली उस पे है. दूसरी और रीजन हो सकते हैं, लोगों को, यंग लोग क्योंकि ज्यादा एक्टिविटी करते हैं, इनको चोट लग सकती है, या पैदाइश से जो डिफेक्ट होते हैं, जिनको डेवलपमेंटल या कंजेनाइटल डिफेक्ट्स कहते हैं, तो लोगों को उसकी वजह से भी यंग लोगों में बैकएक हो सकता है. सो मैकेनिकल बैकएक का, जैसे मैंने आपको ट्रीटमेंट बताया, एक्सरसाइज, गेम्स है, वर्क प्लेस पे पोस्चर को इंप्रूव करना है, और डाइट है, प्रॉपर कैल्शियम रिच डाइट खाइए, अल्कोहल का सेवन कम से कम करिए, सिगरेट स्मोकिंग ना करिए. तो ये सब चीजों से ये जो यंग एज का मैकेनिकल बैकएक पूरा हो सकता है या ठीक हो सकता है. परंतु यंग लोगों में कभी कभार ऐसा है कि बैकएक तब भी होता रहता है, और ये बैकएक परसिस्टेंट क्रॉनिक हो जाता है. और ये क्रॉनिक बैकएक हो सकता है प्रोलैप्स्ड डिस्क या स्लिप डिस्क की वजह से. आप देखेंगे ये डिस्क जो है, दिस डिस्क इज कंटेन्ड इनसाइड दिस एनवलप कॉल्ड द एनुलस, लेकिन इसके बाहर के एनिलस की कमजोरी की वजह से कभी कभी ये डिस्क बाहर को आके बल्ज करना शुरू हो जाती है। आप इस एमआरआई में देखेंगे ये डिस्क बाहर बल्ज कर रहे हो, ये सफेद रंग की जो है आपकी स्पाइनल कॉर्ड है जिसमें से नसें जाती हैं, और ये डिस्क आपकी स्पाइनल कॉर्ड की नसों को दबाना शुरू कर देती है। कभी कभार ये इसको फाड़ के बाहर भी निकल आती है और बाहर ज्यादा स्पाइनल कॉर्ड को नसों को दबाना शुरू कर देती है। तो इस वजह स्लिप डिस्क की वजह से मरीज को सबसे पहले तो कमर में दर्द होता है, बैक पेन। दूसरी चीज जो होती है जिसको कहते हैं रेडिकल पेन, शायटिका होता है। शायटिका का दर्द ऐसा होता है कि सबसे पहले कमर में शुरू होता है, फिर बटक्स के अंदर और गोज टू द ग्लूटियल रीजन एंड गोज डाउन टू द बैक ऑफ द थाई एंड गोज डाउन टू द बैक ऑफ द काफ। ये एक खिंचाव जैसा दर्द होता है और आगे बेंड करने से या पैर को ऊपर उठाने से ये दर्द बढ़ता है। इस दर्द के साथ साथ पैर में झुनझुनी या भी हो सकती है। और अगर ये डिस्क ज्यादा निकल आए, जैसे ये देखिए यहाँ पे डिस्क है, ये अभी तो थोड़ी सी निकली और नस को दबा रही, लेकिन ये डिस्क ज्यादा निकल के इसको भरे तो ये बाकी सारी नसें और दूसरे पैर की नसें भी दबा सकती है, और उससे उस समय इंसान को दोनों पैरों में दर्द हो सकता है या चलने में भी दर्द हो सकता है, जिसको हम कहते हैं न्यूरोजेनिक क्लॉडिकेशन। कभी कभार एक बहुत भयंकर प्रॉब्लम भी हो सकती है इससे कि अगर ये बहुत सारी नसों को दबा ले तो दबाने से जो लैट्रिन और पेशाब की जो कंट्रोल करने वाली नसें हैं उनके ऊपर भी दबाव पड़ सकता है। उससे द पर्सन कैन लूज कंट्रोल ऑफ ब्लैडर एंड बाउल, एंड दैट इज अ वेरी वेरी सिंसिटिव सिचुएशन and is a big complication and patient needs to seek a doctor immediately. So मोटा कमर में दर्द, buttocks में, gluteal region में pain, back of the thigh and a pain which travels down, more on bending forward or stretching kind of pain. And so इसका treatment क्या है? The first treatment of any problem in the body is actually rest. A large number of patients will just improve with bed rest, and patients just need to go to the toilet and just rest in the body, just rest on the bed. We can use analgesics. We give painkillers, analgesics, and muscle relaxants, adjuncts to rest. And by and large, a large number of patients may improve with rest. If the patients don't improve with rest, then we have to give them certain kind of physiotherapy. Now, I would like to talk a little more about physiotherapy. Now, for a lay person, physiotherapy is, basically physiotherapy is a very broad term, and lay person does not understand what physiotherapy is. Physiotherapy is basically a set of therapies or exercises or machine-driven things which without any major intervention cause improvement in the body. इसका मतलब कि जो आप फिजियोथेरेपी पे जाते हैं उसके पास कई सारी टेक्निक्स होती हैं जिससे वो आपके बैक को और बाकी शरीर को आराम पहुंचा सकता है। Now the problem with physiotherapy is that the physiotherapist is not a doctor and he does not understand what is there. So that is why we need to specifically target which part of the body has to be targeted. So now suppose you have done all this and then your treatment you're getting treated and you don't improve. So when do you need to seek a doctor? So you need to seek a doctor when you have persistent sciatica or acute onset sciatica, if you have weakness in the leg, if you have any bladder bowel involvement, and then if you have backache with deformity. But then the thing is that what do we do now that COVID is there and we are worried about going to the hospital? So what do we do now? Most hospitals have actually done a practice where they have done where they have made a COVID safe zone in the hospital. The patients are segregated. They are wearing valveless masks, and the patient and the OPD, their segregation has taken place. So almost all hospitals have become COVID safe. And what do we do when the conservative management fails? And so all patients who fail conservative management do not require surgery, and 70% of these patients can be managed either by office procedures like giving epidural steroid or giving selective nerve root blocks or giving facet joint blocks. However, if all fails, surgery has to be done. But in the mind of people, surgery is a very formidable procedure. They feel that the big cut will be given and they will be bedridden for very long. However, in present day, surgery has become a very small procedure. We carry out surgery for this by a very small incision, 4 to 5 centimeter incision, using special instruments and using a microscope. And using a microscope, and most often our patients are walking the same day. As you can see, this patient was operated at 10 o'clock in the morning, admitted at 10 o'clock in the morning, and he's walking at 3 o'clock in the evening. So now the next question is that a lot of people have got this idea, लोगों के दिमाग में कि स्पाइन सर्जरी सेफ नहीं है, लोगों को डर है, बगल में किसी ने बोला अरे उसने स्पाइन सर्जरी कराई थी, उसको लकवा मार गया, अरे वो 4 दिन 10 दिन बिस्तर पे पड़ा हुआ पड़ गया. ये सारी धारणाएं गलत हैं. आजकल because of modern imaging like MRI, like CT scan, like other things, spine surgery become very safe. Anesthesia has also become very good, so we get bloodless field to operate. We have special instruments which have been developed. We have instruments like neural monitoring, which monitors the health of spinal cord all the time. And more importantly, the skills of the surgeons have improved. Earlier, spine surgery was done by normal orthopedic surgeons and normal neurosurgeons, but now a subclass of doctors have evolved, which are pure spine surgeons, and then they are the ones who do spine surgery. So basically, it is like karat karat abhyas, jalmati ho sujan, and that's what spine surgeons are all about. So now surgery can be done as a keyhole, in a keyhole manner. So last question, which is now patient is convinced that he needs to get surgery. He knows that he will go back the same day. His worries have gone. The last question that comes to us is what is the cost of surgery? Now, the cost of surgery for a simple slip disc is around 60,000 rupees. It can start from 60,000 rupees in a center and go up to as much as about 2 to 3 lakh rupees just for a discectomy. However, in abroad, in America and all, this cost is almost to the tune of 15 to 16 lakh, starts at 15, 16 lakh rupees. If more complex surgeries are required, then the cost may go up depending on the kind of complicated surgery and number of screws that is required. So to summarize all this, I would say that surgery is not a must for backache. Most of the backaches can be managed without surgery, by physical therapy and by exercise or by outpatient measures. If at all surgery is required, the surgery is very safe. It is most often done by a very small incision. It can be done in a daycare setting, and the costs are constantly coming down, and it is not very costly. So because of paucity of time, I would like to end here. And we have many other things that we'll be talking about the kind other surgery we'll be talking about in the near future, but paucity of time, I would not be talking about these at the moment. So I would now request Dr. Verma, if there are any questions or from the audience, any questions, then I would like to address them.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks a lot, Dr. Shishir, for a very brief but succinct and very, very enlightening presentation. I think आपने इतने कम समय में बहुत ही जो main concerns होते हैं हम लोगों के और most patients के, वो आपने address कर दिए. Which is quite a challenging task, and I will just ask you a few questions if you have 5 minutes. A lot of people had registered for the webinar and sent us many questions. Few key questions, if you have time, I'd like to ask you.
Sure.
So first of all, the one good question which somebody has asked is, what are the preventive measures for lumbar spondylosis and disc prolapse?
So I think it's a very, very good question. Unfortunately, we know that spondylosis is nothing but a process of aging. And so this process of aging cannot be avoided. But what we can do is, हम क्या कर सकते हैं कि इस process को धीमा कर सकते हैं, retard कर सकते हैं. तो इसके लिए जो मैंने इसमें बताया था कि exercise, good diet, constant exercise, good posture, these are all the things which can retard the process. This process cannot be abolished totally. कुछ लोगों में ये fast होता है, कुछ लोगों में slow होता है, ये भगवान का बनाया हुआ चक्र है, it is not in our hands, but the process can be retarded by the measures that I have said. Dr. Verma.
Okay, thank you very much. I just want to tell the participants that after this webinar, we'll be sending out a book which is on World Spine Day by Dr. Shishir Kumar. This is the first of a series of public health education on spine education, and all of you will get that via email. It's a free download. You can also get it from website shishirspine.com. Another question which one of the participants just asked me is, what is the way to manage pain in the knee? So I suppose he's getting painful knee for some time. What are the various causes and how should one manage? If you can please tell us.
So the problem, the pain in the knees can be again be
I mean, it is not a spine related question. Sorry, but yeah,
no problem.
yeah.
No
Please
problem. I'm
go on.
an orthopedic surgeon and I deal with him, so I can just answer it very briefly and quickly. Pain in the knees can be because of basically two reasons. One is because of aging, that is osteoarthritis, and that pain in the knees can be managed by lifestyle changes, which is basically not aggravating it by doing activities which aggravate it, like walking up and down the stairs, or squatting, or sitting cross-legged. And in the young people, the pain in the knees can be because of many other organic reasons, and they need to be investigated. The young people need to be investigated, like an X-ray or probably an MRI, or if it's because of injury, then they need to be investigated because of a meniscus tear or an ACL tear. But old people, managing lifestyle and then putting a kneecap or some ointments and occasional pain relief, and then some contour supplements, visco supplements, like can be used in older knees. Yeah, Dr. Verma.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Shishir. One more question which some people have asked us is about spinal canal stenosis and narrowing of the spine canal. So the questions they have asked is, what are the medicines or any measures which one can take to avoid narrowing of spine, and how to treat spinal canal stenosis without surgery with maybe significant relief? Are there any measures?
Okay, so the thing is that spinal canal stenosis, again, basically it's an aging process. As I had already pointed out, that the disc tends to degenerate, the facet joint capsule tends to become thickened, and so the spinal cord. We are going to hold a full webinar on spinal canal stenosis next time. But so the canal tends to get narrowed because of all the things that is occurring. And again, it's an aging process. But retarding it is, again, taking good back care is going to retard the process of aging, and there's no way to reverse it as such or stop it. You can only retard the process of spinal canal stenosis. And the methods of managing, non-surgical methods of managing are basically spinal flexion exercises, number one. Number two, you can give epidural steroids or nerve root blocks, and basically doing doing interferential therapy or TENS therapy and physiotherapy to decrease the symptoms of spinal canal stenosis. We'll talk about in detail in a subsequent webinar next time that we have planned, Dr. Verma.
Yeah, I think it's a detailed topic and it needs more elaborate discussion.
Very common, and one of the maximum surgeries we do actually is of lumbar canal stenosis. So this is a topic in itself, and for elderly people, this is the most important topic. So we'll address it in much detail some of the time. Dr. Verma, we have got 1 minute.
Thank you. Yeah, so I think I would like to close this webinar, introductory webinar. I think it was very useful for us, and I'm sure for all the participants. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you to the participants, and most importantly to Dr. Shishir for taking time out. We hope to be back very soon. We'll be in touch with you for the next seminar.